Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review recap for season 2, episode 10, BMF New Beginnings, the season finale. Ciao. Baby, listen, yes, it was new beginnings. It was new beginnings. It was old things being thrown out, baby. Lamar threw out Monique in the daggone car wash like she was trash. And you know what was trash, y'all, that should have been thrown out besides daggone Charles behind, which Lucille finally gave him on up, okay, and said, it's a wrap for you, boy. Dag on Lamar, baby. Lamar's storyline should have been in the trash. B. Mickey's storyline should have been in the trash. K9's storyline should have been on the trash. I could have went without it. Didn't need it. Not a second, not a minute, not an hour of it, okay? I did not, okay? Bryant was still out here making a whole fool out of his daggone self. And, of course, the prediction we had with his son and this daggone gun in this safe came to be all right. And I actually felt really bad for Kevin, honey. And, you know, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, you know, Meech and Terry had to go ahead and go their separate ways as well, right? We got a lot of people that are trying to rebuild, rebrand, branch out, and start over and do new things. But will they be able to, baby? That's what it was all about. So let's go ahead and get into this episode, take it from the top, okay? You know how we do. Now, we started out the episode with Terry telling us that they was always kind of on the run, right? They started out being on the run as kids, whether it was running away from other kids, you know, running home so your mama won't be beating you behind, okay, getting in that house before that daggone curfew, running away from other rival, you know, people, running away from the cops, and now running to people that owe them, okay, to give them that reminder that we ain't here to play no daggone games. We will be on y'all behind. And they roll up to the car wash, and lo and behold, we got Detective Brian and them dragging out a body from there. And he asking Meech, what the heck you doing here? And Meech talking about something, I'm just a concerned citizen. He like, okay, since you were part of the neighborhood watching, you got, you know, this big old heart. Let me show you what's going on. And so he's like, you know, this is Monique. She's basically been strangled, you know what I'm saying, killed and left with an 11-year-old and a toddler by herself, you know, by themselves or whatever. Do you know her? And Meech is saying, no, he don't. And so when he's walking away, Terry is basically saying, like, I'm so sorry, you know, Mo was a real one and she didn't deserve this. But he's telling him how they need to go ahead and take care of business. They got these 300 keys that they got to move. They don't have time to really sit and be sad and think about what the heck happened with Monique. And Meech is like, yo, I know she says she was his Achilles heel and she has something up her sleeve and she wanted us to come together and tag team him, but he was like, this is him that did this. And basically, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to get in that ass. And I'm looking at Terry like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, y'all need to focus on business. But it's real funny to me now you worried about focusing on business. But every time Markeisha call, you running the hell off. And had y'all been on top of Lamar from the get-go and paying attention to what he was doing and looking for him and being able to find him the way he always was able to find y'all, then you have for the stuff that y'all done went through, y'all wouldn't have been going through in the first place, Terry. So now, moving on from there, you know, they get to the record shop and they trying to make moves. You know, Meech is actually trying to send out one of the boys to, I think it was LA, and B. Mickey over here talking about some, you know what I'm saying, do you want me to go with him? And he was saying, you know, do you think I'm going to meet Janet Jackson while I'm there? And they was like, maybe if you lucky. So he tells B. Mickey, nah, I need you to stay close by me, right? I don't know. We understand later why, but baby, I said, child, I would have never had him close to me at all. But nonetheless, I digress. Sterling was basically even asking, like, why do you still got that rat dude around you? Like, what is the point? And he told Sterling, don't ever question me and what I'm doing. And Sterling was like, no disrespect. So lo and behold, of course, you know what I'm saying, just mentioning Markeisha behind and the fact that Terry, every time the phone ring, he go running to her. Who you think is calling but her? And she's saying how somebody done came up in their child and tied up the daggone kids. And basically, I guess Boom owes them some type of money. So he's telling the kids how he gonna keep them safe. Don't worry about nothing. You know, he love her, all right, and he is gonna take care of them. They about to be up in a new house. I said, excuse me, you getting a new house for her? Did you get a new house for Wanda? Did you? So she gonna talk about something, I love you too, okay? And once he said that he loved their mother and was gonna take care of her, I said, girl, bye. So now we seeing Brian walking down the hall and Jenna's like, excuse me, hello, what's going on? Where you going? And he's basically like, oh, well, Detective Chambers is out or whatever, right? And they are going to let me, the DEA is going to let me go ahead and here and talk to K9. And she's like, you mean us? And he's like, yeah, us. Because, of course, Jen is going to be on it. She going to be paying attention to every daggone thing. So he's like, of course, Detective. Now, when they first get in here, K9 is trying to act hard. He's like, I ain't no snitch. I ain't no rat. I ain't telling y'all nothing. I don't care what y'all do to me. Y'all must be didn't know. Y'all better ask somebody, because I don't crack for no daggone body, right? He talking a real hard game. And to be honest, I thought K9 was going to stay true to it. I really did not expect him to snitch on anything. So they start telling him, because they were saying how they got 3 witnesses that he's been involved in some multiple murders. I didn't like this K9 storyline either, child. Y'all could throw this away too. So basically, he laughing in their face and he was like, you guys really think y'all could come and that this is supposed to be scary to me with your little Miami Vice tactics or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I'm a G. Ain't nobody doing nothing to me. So he like, oh, okay, well, I think I will. And Brian gets up and knocks at the window. And the next thing you know, Peaches is walking up in the room and she done told them where the bodies was buried. I said, you really let Peaches know where the bodies was buried, K9? That was mistake number 1. And of course, at first, he's like, she can't make no difference. She don't know nothing. And she's like, no, I definitely let them know where to go, how to go, what time to go and everything. And I told them where all your weapons and everything is at and what you got in the ceiling in the gambling spot. So, of course, he started jumping up and yelling at her, whatever. And now he's willing to talk. And he essentially gives everybody names except for Meech and Terry. Of course, Brian all hungry and ready. Oh, you sure you ain't got nothing on Meech and Terry? But, you know what I'm saying? K9 just basically laughed in his face. I guess I should be happy that he didn't tell on Meech and Terry. Now, moving on from there, we basically had, Meech and Terry, talking to Pops. It actually seemed like they having a little bit better relationship going on with him. I guess that's one good thing that came out of all of this. And they saying that, he's saying that they having a dinner at the house tonight and he really would like for them to come. I remember it was the time when he would roll his eyes every time Meech's name was mentioned. So they like, we got you, Pops. We'll be there, whatever, right? No sweat. Don't worry about it. And he's like, thank you both. So then we get this daggone scene with Lamar child sitting here getting cracked out. Now all of a sudden you want to smoke crack. If that was the case, you could have just smoked it with damn, Mo, instead of doing all the foolishness you did. He over here daydreaming and looking and seeing Blackie. I really didn't give a damn about seeing freaking Lamar being tormented within himself for what he did, okay, and acting like he give a damn about something. Now I could care less. All right, I either wanted him to take himself out or I wanted one of them to take it out. I'ma just keep it real with y'all, but that did not happen. So of course, you Ashley Larry is coming and saying, what are you doing? Have you even eaten? When I'm asking you, did you eat? That does not mean that I'm telling you to go ahead and snort some more stuff up your damn nose. And Lamar basically, of course, spazzes out, jumps up, throws him across the damn room on the floor and tells him that he will basically kill him. And then Ashley Larry is like, all right, man, chill, damn, like I was just trying to help or whatever the case may be. Chill, ninja. Okay, so now we got Nicole over here. Okay, she feeling good. She had this food cooked up. She in the daggone hair show. LaWanda gonna come through and help her, whatever, and she's coming to the show too. Terry talking about something. I don't think that's a good idea. We don't really care what you think. And Mama Lucille came down in her little one-piece jumpsuit. I said, you better work, Lucille. Okay, Lucille was looking good. They over here like, oh, you look good, and she ain't paying Charles no daggone mind. She just said, who gonna be saying the blessing. So I don't know why he wanted to make, small talk, but Charles was saying the prodigal son returns, so he should go ahead and say the grace. And Meech starts to say it. So then Meech was like, well, when's the last time that we had a dinner all together like this? It's great for all of us to be here as a family. Child, I know Meech meant well, baby, but the only thing that did was stir damn Lucille up. Lucille said, I know when we last had a damn dinner. Oh, Meech, you wasn't here. You missed it that time. But you know who was here? Oh, Mabel Raggedy ass. That's who. She was like, now, did you have that affair with that Jezebel after we ate? And he was like, are you serious? She said, I sure damn am. And the fish rot from the head down. Okay, so basically he's like, you made your point, Lucille, and he gets up and walks away. Child, Charles, you should have known it wasn't gonna be that easy. You really thought you was about to make up dinner and it was all gonna be good. So now, Meech basically comes over and tells her after dinner that he's sorry that she is still hurting. And, he bring her over a little tea, and she was saying, thank you, I appreciate it. And she said, well, what is it, Demetrius? Something else is going on. And he lets her know what happened with Monique. And she's like, what? Oh my God. Like, what the heck are you talking about? Her and Nikki both are concerned. And so she's like, well, where's those babies at? Who is going to raise Zoe and Tierra now? And he says her mom is going to hold them down. And of course, he is always going to take care of them or whatever, for life. And so she was like, oh my goodness, it's just too much freaking, bad news. Like, Lord, give me the strength. This is horrible. Now, Terry comes over and says who called and K9 and his crew got popped, and the word is that he is snaking out here in these streets, okay? And of course, Meech rolls his eyes like, you gotta be freaking kidding me when it comes to that. So we seeing that, Mike done brung himself back over to Goldie, and he's still over here asking about money and saying that he still needs to see those two ninjas that was at the daggone club. Either she gonna have to give him the contact info or she gonna have to give him the money, one or the other. And she was like, man, first of all, you ain't dumb enough to come and ask me no stupid stuff like that, and you better get your ass up out of here. And he basically was like, well, there's interest. She said, like I said, get your Winnie the Pooh ass out my damn club and don't come back. All right, hit the road, Jack. And I was like, wait a minute, Mike, you still actually looking for that money? Like, I thought that you said F her and she said F you, and you told her to stay away from the place, and that was that. I ain't know you was supposed to be coming back again, still looking for Meech and them and wanting no money now, child. Now, Meech out by the water, he's smoking or whatever the case may be, and him and Terry have this meetup. Terry come walking over, and of course he's late, and he was like, I bet she got you sitting pissing down, okay, because of course he was with Markeisha again. So he was like, we still gotta find where we gonna do this thing with this money. And Meech tells him, I'm 20 steps ahead of you, baby bro. I already got the hookup with Nikki's boss. And so he's like, okay, well, you on point. I gotta give you credit where credit is due, or whatever the case may be. And for once, I actually agree with your dumb behind. So he was like, well, looks like K9 actually snitched on everybody, except for us. And he's like, we can't keep skipping town and running. We got to stay here. We got to do what we got to do. I'm not running nowhere no more. It's our time now. We about to shine. All right. And so they go ahead and they both smoking or whatever. Now we get Zach on, little Kevin, Brian's son walking and of course having his little magazine talking with his friend or whatever, and we get these same bullies coming back to bully him. So obviously that butt kicking that B Mickey gave did not make much of a daggone difference. And I'm like saying, well, damn, when he went to go live with the mom, I thought that was supposed to be making a difference and that they would have probably changed his freaking school too. But apparently they didn't. So I don't really see what was the point of him living with his mom. And for once, Kevin did try to fight, but poor thing, okay, he did not have a chance. He did not win. And not only did he get his butt beat, but, they basically end up ripping up his comic book. And as soon as that happened, I said, Kevin about to go get that daggone gun. Okay, he was sitting on the floor looking sad and pathetic. Now, we basically have, the hair show start or whatever, the hair wars, okay, something that is very popular in Detroit that they have been doing, I think, since 1985, where you have these exotic different hairstyles or whatever. One of the biggest parties that they have in the D. I know that some of my cousins used to be in daggone hair shows, okay, and I believe that they still go down. And so basically they there and they looking, and they seeing Nikki coming through representing or whatever the case may be. You got Meech and B Mickey walking in, and then Terry comes in with Markeisha. Why he would bring her, I do not know, because Nicole already mentioned that she was going to have LaWanda there. And so at this point, Meech don't even like, Markeisha. So when B Mickey was saying for them to walk over there, he like, nah, I'm good. I ain't going over there, whatever, right? So they actually end up going over by his parents instead. And of course, Sorry, y'all. Charles ends up giving B Mickey his condolences about his mom and telling him how much, you know what I'm saying, he's like family to them and how he could always still come to them and talk to them and things like that if he needs to. And Lucilla's just basically nodding her head agreeing. I said, baby, not if y'all knew what the hell a snake he was, you know. And so here comes Terry walking over to the daggone table a couple minutes after to go ahead and introduce them or whatever. And she's saying, you know, oh, it's nice to meet y'all. Charles looking like, who? Wait a minute. Who's this? With his mouth all damn open, okay? And Lucille was like, but you already have a lady, so I'm confused. What the heck is this chick here doing here? Why are you bringing another lady when you got a whole ass lady who's pregnant with your second child? And so he's telling, Charles tried to tell Lucille, maybe you should stay out of it. And she said, don't you think you know a little long in the tooth? Don't you think you're a little long in the tooth to be coming up around here and dating my son? So Terry is like, Mom, and Markeisha want to talk about, well, your son is more mature than most. And Lucille said, I'm sure you would know. You've been around. You've been with a few of them. See, I said, ooh, Lucille, baby, she was coming with it. Okay. And so, of course, Markeisha is looking at daggone Terry like he crazy. And then LaWanda come over and she's like, oh, Terry. And he's like, LaWanda, what are you doing here? As if Nicole, again, did not mention this to him. And she was like, I was backstage helping daggone, you know, Nicole, but I see you bought your little plaything. So she was like, I could hardly recognize this heifer without your legs, but without your head between her legs. I said, ooh. So here go Markeisha talking about some, I know this bargain basement bitch ain't trying to talk shit when she got her hairstyle, you know what I'm saying, just like mine's the same way or whatever. So of course they like, who you talking to? Who you talking to? So, you know what I'm saying, like Markeisha basically was like, F this, I'm up out of here, whatever. I really want to see LaWanda jump on her. I'm sorry, you know I should not be promoting violence, baby, but fight. But we didn't get that, okay? So moving on from there, you know, Lucille ended up saying she's not worth it and walking away with her. So the next thing you know, she, you know, Terry trying to go after her, whatever the case may be. And, you know, we have homeboy coming up talking about some, I'm trying to make you, you know, sure you good. And, you know, basically Markeisha is like, I'm good, I'm fine. So he gonna tell Terry, stay away from, you know, Boom's bitch. And she was like, excuse me, who you calling a bitch? Okay, like Queen Latifah said. She is like, if you don't get the hell up out my face. So he's saying, you know, y'all having a night, you know, a nice night. But basically he was trying to threaten, you know, Terry. And Terry go ahead and, of course, follow behind Markeisha like a little lost puppy. Now, moving on from there, child, we still seeing Lamar sitting here hallucinating. He's actually seeing himself and talking about, who you? What you doing here? You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? You ain't the real me and I'm going to show you and all this different stuff. And he basically starts to go ahead and smoking on his stuff, talking about something is all your fault. And, you know, I know it's my fault and you think I don't know and all of this and that. And after he starts smoking the stuff, when they show the couch again, instead of it actually being him or even being empty like I thought it was going to be, it was actually his cousin Alvin sitting there watching him the whole time. I did think the scene was interesting, but at the end of the day, y'all, I just really did not care about Lamar no more and wanted him gone. So now you got Brian get a call from Meech where he's like, come to Belle Isle and come alone. And he's like, for what? Because they said somebody wanted to have this face to face. So he hang up the phone and he told Jen, you know, Meech wants to see me at Belle Isle. Of course, she was ready to jump up and go with him. But he's like, nah, this is something that I got to do on my own. He said, come alone. So when he get there, first Meech is at the top of the steps, you know, B Mickey over here on the side with the umbrella up or whatever, it's raining. So he go walking up and he's like, yeah, okay, what the heck? Why? What is all of this? What the hell did you want to see me? He was like, remember once before I told you I would make your face, you know what I'm saying? That smile, I should say, disappear off your face or whatever the case may be. So he was like, hey, Linda. He was like, oh, Detective Brian, do you remember him? And we had the guy that basically saw him in regards to the whole abduction and murder of J. Mo, that's, you know, was able to see the make and model of the car and the person that was getting into it, of course, that they had told to go away. And so, of course, he was able to come back now and say, you know, yes, this was the man that I saw, whatever the case may be. And I know what the police cruiser looked like and all of that stuff. And he's like, Meech is asking him, was it this Cujo BMF that's in front of me. And he's like, yeah. So he's like, that's cute, but you still can't prove it. He was like, yeah, well, I can prove that he's the last one that saw J Mo alive or whatever. And so at the end of the day, they like, get the gun, drop it off within an hour or whatever, or we gonna have that witness come and drop your little description of your face or whatever. And so first Brian tried to be like, so what? And then he, Meech is basically like, he's gonna sing like Luther Vandross or whatever. Then the other guys start coming and surrounding, and he was like, you really think you did something special here? I'm gonna wipe that smile off your face. But me says, you gonna do what we said, or what I'm saying, little Kevin is gonna be, nighty night. So basically he was like, it's time for you to demonstrate what the heck is really going on. And they got a police scanner. So Detective Brian go ahead to go to the damn house to get the gun, because he know he really don't got no wins. Now Lucille and Charles sit down. They finally have, this conversation that's been overdue. Charles talking about maybe it's a good thing that he got caught cheating. I said, Charles, baby. Yeah, it is a good thing, okay, because it was time for y'all to go y'all separate ways. And he's saying how he went to see this new pastor and he told them about his transgressions, and he want to make right, and he's so sorry, and he thinks he can help them and help, have a path forward for them. So she said, baby, I found somebody too, but it's a divorce attorney. So he was like, what are you talking about? She said, I'm tired of fighting, Charles. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of the kids thinking that this is normal, because it's not. We both deserve to be happy, and we haven't been happy in a long time. The dirty magazines, the lying Mabel, the list goes on and on and on. The truth is that I haven't been happy either. I've been miserable. And she was like, this is not what I hope for in my life. So he basically was saying that, maybe they could start over fresh or whatever the case may be, and everything happens for a reason. And he was like, at this point, there's no more secrets or whatever. We could get a fresh start. And, God could be giving us a second chance. Child, Lucille said, baby, the second chance he giving us is just not with us together, and it's not with each other. I said, I know that's right. And sometimes that's okay, y'all. That's just the way that it happens. And he gonna talk about some I never imagined, life without you. Boo, obviously you did. You was imagining it with Mabel when you was going over there to her house. Excuse me. So now Detective Brian get home, and just like we would expect, baby, he over here rummaging through the damn safe, and the gun ain't freaking there, okay? It's just an empty bag. So when Jen come walking in, he ready to curse her out like, you done came in here snooping again and touched something and moved the gun. But before he could even finish, she's like, oh, I came over here to check on you because I got the call about Kevin. And he was like, what call about Kevin? What the heck are you talking about? So, of course, once they get over here, he hurries up and drives there. Kevin is there crying. You got a whole bunch of officers surrounding him. He got to tell them to stand down, that this is his kid. And he gets over there to, Kevin, and Kevin says, look, it was an accident, it just happened or whatever. Of course, he's running and hugging him and crying or whatever. He's like, I messed up. He's saying he's sorry. And Detective Brian is like, oh man. And you look down and you see that this boy is shot or whatever. And he was like, he just would not leave me alone. He would not leave me alone. He kept going and going and going. And so Detective Brian is like, I know, you hear me? I know, I understand. It was self-defense. He was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. And of course, Detective Jen has to end up coming and putting the handcuffs on him. And he tells him that he will be right here. And so, when she's putting the handcuffs, Kevin don't understand this. He's basically like, what? It was an accident. I got to go to jail or whatever. Is she arresting me? And so he is telling him to calm down, that, he's going to work this all out. And of course, Kevin is just saying over and over and over that it was an accident. Poor Kevin, man. And now, of course, Bryant is in trouble, beyond trouble, because that gun, of course, was not even supposed to be there. This is the gun that killed, of course, J Mo and Zagon, what the heck was her name? Kato. And the whole thing would be Mickey, that he was holding over his head. So now they have it on the front of, the paper, that Kevin is actually a suspect and has been arrested and a suspect for a triple murder, and so Meech and them is looking at it like, oh well, this is why he never came back and brought us the gun or whatever, right? But now we don't have to worry about it no more because they got him for these murders. But they also do have B Mickey's print, so they can prove that Kevin didn't have nothing to do with the other two murders or whatever, even though he did have to do with this murder that happened with the kid at the school, unfortunately, which we all could see. And again, I'm still confused as to how he went and stayed at his mama house. And that was a new safe that he moved to a different place, but he some kind of way ended up knowing how to come in and get the daggone new combination to the safe and be able to get the gun out, y'all. But we gonna go ahead with it, right? And so they kind of celebrating like, okay, that saves us, you know what I'm saying, from having to deal with that. Look how God works, all right? And, they basically talking about that they just got this new shipment from the Colombians and they getting everything they wanted. So at this point, Terry is telling Meech, you cannot sit here and be caught up into the daggone things with Lamar. We got this handled with Brian. And we also got these, things that we about to make as far as these daggone drugs that we got. So why are we gonna keep, running after Lamar? He's like, we not murderers. And Meech had to tell him, speak for yourself. He was like, yo, you talking about a re-evolution and all this other stuff, and we got two kids that's here that don't have their daggone mother that this guy took out. He's been coming and doing all different kind of craziness. And I'm sorry, but I agree with Meech in that moment. Like, Terry, if it was the opposite way and that would have been LaWanda that got killed, would you have still felt the same way? Would you not have wanted something for her, whatever the case may be? Or maybe it have to be Markeisha to be damn killed for you to understand where he coming from. Like, I ain't get him saying that to him, but basically Meech just said, when he's telling him we're businessmen, he's like, well, speak for yourself, and he goes and he walks off or whatever, right? And so of course Bryant now gotta basically say he's gonna fully cooperate. He gotta spill all the tea and tell the damn captain everything that he been doing, where that gun came from, and what they could prove as far as B Mickey. And Jen, of course, volunteers to say that she will go and talk to B Mickey and see what she could get done. And Bryant was over here trying to say thank you to her, and she was like, man, F you if you don't get out my face. Like, you are complete and utter trash, but I am gonna try to do this to see if I can help Kevin out. And she walks away. So basically she goes to B Mickey, and B Mickey ends up telling her, man, check, if you don't get the heck up out of here. He was like, why would I help him at the end of the day? And if you guys really had something, then I would already be getting arrested or whatever the case may be. She's telling him she's sorry that he moved his mother to the hospital before she died and all that. And he was like, none of that is going to bring her back. And she says, I know what Brian did is messed up, but they have the gun now. They do still, have the freaking, fingerprints, and all they gotta do is trace the dots or whatever, and you're gonna be facing multiple life sentences. So if you come and confess now, they could try to help you and give you less time, and then when you're out, you can still be able to get a fresh start. And he was just kind of like, girl, if you don't get the heck up out of here. He was like, if that was the case, if y'all really had something on me, then I would already be, in handcuffs. And he closes the door in her face. So now we get Lamar child, he was still over here smoking and laid out or whatever. And Meech comes putting a gun to him, and he's telling, Meech, look like the rabbit caught the wolf. Go ahead, take me out. Go ahead, then do it. I'll send regards to Monique. Go ahead. So he was like, you've been coming down with a hell of fire on us all this time, but most importantly, I'm going to do this for me, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to stop you in your tracks and all of this. This is what Meech is basically saying to Lamar. He's like, Lamar saying to him, I see you learn something. You got to go down to hell with the devil, or whatever the case may be, to be able to take him out. And he's telling him he going to save a seat for him and all of this. And so Meech is telling him, you're twisted. He was like, this is what you really want, right? He was like, you don't deserve the easy way out. And of course, Lamar says there's nothing ever been easy for him in his life. And so, basically, Meech says, I should put you out of your misery, but I'd rather watch you suffer. And all of a sudden, he gonna go ahead and put the damn gun away and talk about something. Why don't you go ahead and, suck on this or whatever, right? This gonna be tighter and tighter and tighter around your neck, of course, giving him the damn pipe. and he gonna throw damn Alvin, okay, aka Ashley Larry, a bag of money and talking about it's some extra in there, and he just want him to keep feeding him, you know what I'm saying, more and more and more, keep his ass this way, all right, doped up on this shit. Child, that wasn't good enough for me. I'm sorry. It was not at all. I was not impressed. Okay, I get why they went that angle, and I know that he is still alive in real life, but I'm talking about on the show. Just was not for me. But Meech tells T he followed what he said, and he was like, this way is going to be even better, or whatever the case may be. And he was like, I also need you to respect the way that I handled the B Mickey situation. And T basically says, okay. And so now he's saying that it's time for them to take the show on the road and that he's going to go back down south. And so T is like, I don't understand. I thought you said you got rid of Lamar or whatever. You know, he was like, yeah, but I want more. I want us to expand. I want to be able to work from Florida and get closer to the source and all of that. And so Terry's like, what happened to Wound to the Tune? And he was like, baby, it's just going to be some miles in between us, okay? We still going to be Wound to the Tune no matter what. That don't change that. You know what I'm saying? You going to be doing stuff here. I'm going to be doing stuff there. We going to be doing stuff everywhere, right? And so we not ending nothing or whatever the case may be, right? We just going to be running distro. And you gonna hold things down in the D and be the king of the D, and then I'm gonna be, holding it down there, right? 700 miles apart. So they go ahead and give a pound on that, right? So basically, now we want to sit here and have this going away party for Meech or whatever the case may be, DJ, block party type of thing. Everybody out here dancing and partying. So, Meech give his dad a guitar. He over here, Charles grilling up or whatever. You got, Terry coming over and saying, no matter what you and mom went through, I seen what you had to sacrifice and what you had to do as a man and as a father, and I do appreciate you and love you. So it was like a little bonding moment, Meech come and give him this guitar. Of course, Lucille done trashed up, the guitar that he had, and he was very appreciative of it, and I did like that part. Finally, Charles accepted them and loved them anyway, you know what I'm saying, and said thank you for the daggone guitar, and felt touched by that. You can almost see a little tear come to his eye. I thought he was about to be up out of here with Meech. Okay, maybe that's what's going to be happening in the next season. But he did say thank you, and they basically both acknowledged, like, you sacrificed for our family. You put up with me, Mama, Nikki. You did what you had to do when it came to being that father to us, and don't think that it goes unnoticed. And so I did love that they came to that moment. And then it was funny because Charles over here, looking at this lady with her back, and he's talking about some I'll be damned, and they was like, yeah, that's what got you in trouble in the first place. But baby, that lady turned around and it was Miss Lucille, baby. Miss Lucille was doing what needed to be done. I said, you better work, Lucille. Okay, she had that red on, all right, like me, with the little hoop earrings, and she had a little shag to the side that we used to wear, back in the days, all right. And she said she ready to do a little two-step. Who gonna go ahead and dance with her, and Charles was over here like, but baby, no, it ain't yours no more. So, we got B Mickey show up or whatever the case may be, and Terry, Meech go ahead and walk over and was like, he told him I ain't getting no invite. But he says to B Mickey, you not a part of this no more. You not my brother no more. And the only reason why you still daggone, alive or whatever the case may be, and I didn't send you to your mama and Kato yet, is because I do still care. But he was like, at the end of the day, Sterling saw you talking to daggone Brian Partner, so you up out of here. And he, of course, was trying to explain the situation, and me says, don't call me, don't come around me, I don't want to hear nothing from you, you are dead to me, walk away, and so basically Meech walks away, and B Mickey go walking off. And baby, that wasn't good enough for me either, but that's the way they wrote it, right? Here come Keisha, oh, we here to party, right? Let's go ahead and party. So, then Meech tells the DJ to play his song, and they just, go ahead and party it out. Now, In the meantime, Brian goes to the jail to see his son, and he's like, "Oh, are you here to get me? Am I going home now? Whatever." But of course, no. He's coming to bring him a daggone comic book, and for the first time, him and his son actually have a real conversation. He's paying attention to his drawings and saying how he notices that the daggone character look a little bit like him, and he's like, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is about you." And I said, "Shoot, we saw that in the first daggone episode when he was showing them, you know." And he was saying how he's introducing these new villains and all this other stuff, right? But he was basically like, you know, am I getting ready to go home? And he tells him it's going to take a little bit more time. I actually feel really bad for his son. I'm not even going to lie, even though Brian is a daggone a-hole. So, of course, T and, you know, Meech got to say they last goodbyes or whatever, and basically just saying that they about to be where they want to be. They accomplished everything that they said they wanted to accomplish. You know, the shorty telling him, if you meet daggone Janet Jackson, let me know. Tyree telling him, don't get too caught up with them damn chicks down there, okay? Make sure you do what you supposed to be doing. And so he go ahead and he get on the road, and he getting back down to Atlanta. And when he get there, Goldie is like, you know, you a little day late and $1 short. Okay, what is going on here? You was already supposed to be here. But he was like, nah, I got you. Of course I came, you know, with some gifts and some extra things for you. And she was like, you know, he told her he brung some souvenirs for the business arrangement. And she was like, see, that's one thing I like about your cute ass Meech. You know what I'm saying? When you show up, you show up. You know how to show up and show out. So he was like, of course, you know, what did you expect, baby? Not even 5 minutes after Meech to get in the damn door, we hearing some gunshots, and we seeing everybody running, and Meech over here flipping over the table and pulling out a gun. Who's back up in the building, baby? But Big Mike, okay? Big Mike done came in here, child, trying to shoot up the club, all right? Talking about where Goldie at? Where Goldie at? I'm about to get her. You know what I'm saying? Where Goldie at, huh? And Meech was like, pop, okay, and caught him in the damn stomach, all right? And Mike was still trying to come a little bit and with his gun and do a little something. And then Goldie stood up and she said, pop, okay, in the shoulder. And Mike went down. Baby Mike, that's not what you need to do, honey. You needed to wait for them to go outside and get in the daggone car or something else, okay? Because that was not it. And she said, I told your fat ass, okay, to stay the hell up out of here. And you came back anyway. Of course, he talking about some F you, bitch. And she said, this the last time you disrespect me. And pop, pop, pop goes the weasel, okay, right in that head, and was smoking her little thing and went ashes to ashes, ninja, okay, and poured it out on him. So come to find out, he is freaking tied to the daggone mob, okay? Big Mike is important, or at least he's important to these people because he usually be making them a lot of money, which means that Robert Fulton, okay, is going to be coming and looking or whatever, because this was his biggest earner, and that means that her and her sister got to get the F up out of Dodge, all right? So now they run back to the house, and she's trying to get her sister up and dressed. And sis said, I can't do it. All right, unplug this daggone machine. I got to go. You got to go the road. You got to go. I got to go the road. I got to go. So, of course, you know, at first Goldie did not want to do this. She actually, you know, of course, is basically does end up finally doing it, saying she not ready and that she don't know that she's been good enough, you know, to make it to heaven or whatever the case may be, and that she would see her again. And, you know, Meech had her back. He came with her all the way or whatever, you know, and she said, you know, he tells her, I'm here for you or whatever, right? And so Goldie said that he could actually get into trouble for, you know, helping her or whatever, right? So she tells him that he's going to have to go ahead and go over to, you know, Magic City or whatever the case may be, you know, that she actually has to leave and never look back, right? And so she's like, if they find out that you helped me in any way, then now you could have these people on you or whatever the case may be. So she was like, listen to me good. She was like, when you go down to Magic City, you're going to ask for this dude named Rodney Green and tell him that Goldie sent you, you know, and he's going to take real good care of you. But if Robert Fulton found out that you helped me, you know what I'm saying, that he gonna skin your little behind, you know what I'm saying, down. So she was like, you hear me, Detroit? So of course he goes there, you know, to the club or whatever, and he sees old, you know, stripper girl that he was banging down the last time that he was there, and she tells him where to go in the back to be able to go see this guy, Mr. Green. And of course, as he's passing by, we got the daggone guys that was hating, talking about, look at this, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, what do we got here? Now, Terry really riding, thinking he about to be the king of the D. He's sitting here living his best life with Markeisha or whatever. And he was like, I was thinking I was the king and I had my queen by my side. What could go wrong? La da dee, la da da. As he driving past, he seeing freaking Lamar walking out by, cracked out. I said, child, run him over with your damn car. He looking all shocked to see him messed up, but he keeps on going. So next thing you know, the same dude that was sitting here, saying stay away from Boone Damn baby mother when they was at the hair show, he dropped up next to them in this damn truck, child. And you could just see Terry like trying to cover Markeisha, whatever the case may be, because they start damn shooting. Baby, y'all, is Markeisha dead? Because Terry done already lost his damn eye. Meeks already done been shot. So is Markeisha shot? Did he try to cover her, but the bullet still hit? We don't know, because that's the way the episode went off, y'all. But that basically was the season finale, y'all. It was all right. It was all right, but I was expecting more. I definitely was disappointed with some of those storylines and the way that it went, but this is what it is, honey. All right, I guess when we get back with season 3, we will at least see how it is with them branching out to different places, Atlanta, Florida, and all of that. And we will find out, is Markeisha still here or not? Was that really her that he was talking to on the phone when it was 20 years later? Maybe it wasn't, y'all. Maybe it wasn't. But that's what I got, y'all. You tell me your rating, what you thought about this finale, what you thought about this season as a whole, what you liked, what you didn't like. Put it in the comments. We will discuss it down there. What's your rating and all of that kind of stuff. Anything that I missed, we'll talk about it in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo.